of a company called TechVestor. And what TechVestor does is it helps real estate investors and busy professionals invest passively in this emerging asset class that I know you've heard of called real estate investors and busy professionals invest passively for their lifestyle. In this emerging asset class that I know you've heard of called real estate investors such as Airbnb investor, and they get some pretty nice returns as well, and I know you want to hear about that. Well, TechVestor's advisors include people and folks and companies such as AirDNA, Realtor.com, and Bigger Pockets. But this isn't your average real estate investment company. You see, TechVestor built its own proprietary sourcing technology where it can actually underwrite, listen at this, over 50,000 properties a month and acquire the best ones for its investors, just like you. So if you're looking to raise private money for your real estate deals, we're going to have that conversation in just a moment. And if you're interested in also passively investing, well, you're going to learn about that as well. You're going to meet my fascinating guest, Sif Kafagi, right after this.
If you're a real estate investor and are wondering how to raise and leverage private money to make more profit on every deal, then you're in the right place. On Raising Private Money, we'll speak with new and seasoned investors to dissect their deals and extract the best tips and strategies to help you get the money, because the money comes first. Now here's your host, Jay Connor.
Well, Keith, I'm so excited to have you on Raising Private Money. And I must say, for someone such as yourself, at the ripe old age of 18 years old, you must have really a different kind of mindset than most people have when it comes to attracting private money. So my first question for you, Keith, is what kind of mindset does an individual have to have in order to attract, something like $37 million in private money?
Jay, well, first and foremost, thanks for having me on the show. And the mindset of a not so 18-year-old anymore these days. We wanted to be different, really, in every way. We wanted to build advantages in the space. That's why we built our own technology. We've automated a lot of the experience where we can. And we also really predominantly focus on the investor experience. I think that's a big area where people kind of forget. And that's really where that's the mindset we were in, is if we were an investor, what did we want to see? How did we want to see it? What kind of information did we want to learn? And what kind of experience at the end of the day, whether it's now or 5 or 10 years from now, do we want to have? That's the mindset we put ourselves in. And that's the mindset we put ourselves in to go get that 37 million.
Very good. Well, Steve, here on Raising Private Money podcast, we talk with new real estate investors and seasoned real estate investors that are looking to raise private money or raise more private money. And we also talk with our audience about becoming passively involved as an investor as well. Let's start out our conversation first with giving an advice from your experience. Say to a new real estate investor that wants to attract some private money, what advice would you give them from your own experience on how do you start, where do you go out, how do you start conversations on attracting private money? And of course, we're not talking about institutional money. We're talking about doing business with individuals that are looking for a high rate of return, safely and securely, but to be passive. Where do you go find these people and start the conversation?
I think the first thing really is in your offering, right? You want to be able to, a saying that I heard from a mentor a long time ago is, don't reinvent the wheel, but drive differently. And for us, we are one of the only institutional grade short-term rental operators in the country that also happens to be vertically integrated. So by nature, we looked and felt differently because we were in an asset class that not a lot of people know or understand very well just yet. And secondly, our team was driven with technology and data and software. Like if you go to our website compared to any other syndicators type website, they look and feel completely different. In fact, many people compare our website to that of a tech product rather than that of a syndication company. And then, tie that into your why, right? Everyone and their mother wants to go raise money for a real estate deal. And they all want to buy a multifamily building or an office building or a single family home and flip it. And that looks and feels the same, right? We get disinterested as repetition continues. And you have to find a reason to separate yourself. So that could be your asset class, that could be your why, it could be your structure, it could be your team. It could be the way you look on your website and how you feel and who you attract and the avatar community that you tackle. But riches are in the niches, and I know you know that quite well, Jay.
Well, that's for sure. Well, one of obviously today, one of the ways that TechVestor attracts private capital is being a guest on a podcast, just like you're here on my podcast. But when you started out, what are some of your, other than being on shows and being on guests, what are some other ways that are your favorite ways to attract private capital?
The first one's going to sound a little obvious, and it's to solve a problem, solve the biggest pain point. When we first started, we were actually a software product, and we attracted some people, but we didn't attract enough people to really be in business. And it's because we weren't solving the right problem. So over the next about 60 to 90 days, we continue to pivot our offering and pivot our pain points that we were tackling until really we got to a point where we understood our avatar and the type of investor, and we raised about $7 million in the next 30 days. So that to us was our first aha. That's the moment. These are the 1, 2, 3 things that we want to hit. So understanding what to solve for, what pain point you're solving for your type of avatar, I think is the biggest point. Where you find them comes a little bit from the pain point you're solving. Busy professionals, it's going to be really hard to get them into an in-person meeting on a Friday afternoon when they got kids and family at home. So you got to be able to adapt, right? Is it a team? Is it ads? Is it podcast shows? Is it one-to-many? Is it one-to-one? Is it social, right? Everyone has their channels. I encourage people to not focus on every channel, but rather focus on the channels that matter most to their avatar.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. See, well, before we get into the subject of your big focus right now today, that being TechVestor, I want to give everybody a gift for just being right here on the show with us. And I've just recently written this 7 reasons why private money will skyrocket your real estate business and help you build incredible wealth. If you're looking to raise private money very, very quickly for your real estate deals, you can download it for free at jayconner.com, jayconner.com/money guide. That's jayconner.com, jayconner.com/money guide. So let's move on over to TechVestor. How did you come up with the idea? I mean, this is like a niche of a niche of a slice of a pie.
Well, that pie is very tasty. And Sabrina and I, we're the 2 co-founders. We were in tech.
He said that pie is very tasty.
We stayed in a bunch of really, really poorly ran and operated Airbnbs, right? I spent time hiring and recruiting a lot of people. And when you hire people, you're not just hiring them to a company. They're oftentimes relocating to the city of Boston, for example. And they are working at your company, but also they're moving to a new city. So where they sleep, where their kids are going to go to school, you're opening up a new city. And when we were there, we stayed in a bunch of Airbnbs. Sabrina was developing AirPods.
My dad's big into gold and silver. He likes to invest in that stuff instead of
from
other
an
stuff.
Operations and logistics and design perspective, she was really fantastic. And for me, it was really about recruiting a lot of great talent and technology. And these people that we were recruiting, they really just did not have great experiences in the short-term and midterm rentals that we put them up at, and neither did we. So we asked ourselves, why has no one really scaled this asset class? And we were LPs in other syndications, and no one has really tackled the world of Airbnb. So we said, well, what if we could? What if we could make it as easy as investing in an apartment building these days, right? And you and I understand a little bit about syndication, but the broad world actually doesn't. Right. So we were a niche within a niche within a niche within a slice, as you call it.
You do antiques.
This asset class is incredibly hard to do.
I love antiques, man. I collect
antiques.
We
tackled a lot of the pain. Right. Most people don't want to just be a landlord, but in short-term rentals, they have to be a landlord.
Especially my grandma's house in Virginia.
They have to manage pricing, they have to deal with guests, they have to deal with children pissing on walls. It happens. You'd be surprised. So we took all that, packaged it up in a way and said, would you be interested in investing something like this if it was done
But
for
my
you? And the short
grandpa
answer for a lot of
sold
people
everything.
was
He
yes. And the
sold
short
the whole
answer really
house and
was
all the
yes to
antiques in
us
it. I
because
mean,
we
most
were
of the
that
stuff.
happy
I mean,
ourselves.
we took a lot of stuff out, but we sold like everything. Man, it sucks.
Explain exactly
I
what
wish we kept the house.
TechVestor is.
All the stuff in it.
First of all, does TechVestor, is that the investing arm of your company, or does TechVestor actually own the properties? Give us more detail about TechVestor itself.
Yeah, so TechVestor is our technology
grandpa, he wanted to move to Florida.
And our main company or main holding company, for lack of a better word. Each year we start a new fund where we invite limited partners to invest alongside us, the general partners, into a portfolio of short-term rentals that are found, operated, and ran by our team. So we are the GPs, investors are the LPs. We're a very traditional GP LP structure for those.
You got to be careful at those antique auctions.
But our technology and our IP is housed within the TechVestor
we caught people trying to take
which
shit
allows
from the
us
house,
to really
like, without
infinitely
paying for
scale. That's a huge
luckily
advantage
we caught them because it was
of our
stuff that we
offering in our
wanted to
business.
take
We're
home
not in just
ourselves.
one market, and we don't just own 1 or 2 properties in a single market. Today we own a little over 100 properties across 12 different markets. So how do we find them, identify them, operate them? A lot of that starts with a lot of great technology, and of course a ton of incredible people behind the scenes.
Well, you just answered my next question, and that is, how many short-term rentals do you have? And if you've got over 100, I mean, of course, your background is technology.
Is Gorilla Gamer
there's
online?
There's no way that a company can manage over 100 properties, particularly in this short-term rental space, unless you have got an amazing team, amazing management, amazing people finding skills, and the such. So yeah, my kudos are to you. I have been in this industry, real estate investing, for 20 years. And of course, Airbnb and short-term rentals really started emerging, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago is when it really started to get, all the buzz talk. And you're the first company I've heard of that's really figured out how to scale it, which leads me to my next question.
King Kong.
How do you underwrite over 50,000 properties a month? And of course, just to make sure everybody understands my question, when I say underwriting, I'm assuming what that word means, Steve, is figure out if it's a good deal or not.
Precisely, and you would be very accurate on that, and that's exactly why we built it. So fun fact, and I'll give you some real-time updates here as we're recording this in April. Today we actually underwrite over 100,000 properties a month with our most recent push on our update. We're tracking over 257 local markets to where we have an interest in investing. And in short, exactly as you mentioned, a property hits the open market. We know about it within seconds, and we're able to underwrite it by pulling in data from a lot of places, both public and private data, and complementary data, right, as well as data that disagrees with each other, so we can get the full scope of things. And it goes through an underwriting algorithm that tells us, hey, does this deal work or does it not deal at face value? Do the numbers work? And the reason this matters to us is because for us to go buy and identify 100 or 200 or 1,000 properties, we're looking at, roughly 50 to 100 times those properties, and before we identify the homes we're going to buy. I mean, in short, out of 100,000 properties we underwrite, just maybe 1,500 to 2,000 of them actually fit our buy box of what we might be looking for. And that's before you get to the artful side of real estate. What does it look like? What do the bones look like? Where is it? There are things that technology and data can't tell you exactly, and that's the human side of real estate. But we're able to, accomplish about 96 to 98% of the job on the number side before we waste anyone's time. And that's a big reason that we don't charge, exorbitant fees on, typical asset management fees and things like that, because we're an incredibly lean and tech-driven organization.
That's amazing. So why would someone be interested in, say, passively investing with your company in these short-term rentals versus, all the other commercial stuff, self-storage, apartments, small apartments? Of course, we know why nobody's investing in office buildings these days, but and we're, comparing and contrasting other commercial properties or single family. I mean, Airbnbs, a lot of those are single family that, you've converted into this commercial asset class. Why short-term rentals over other stuff?
Well, I think the first and foremost thing is a good diversified portfolio is probably the best option for most people. I'm a believer in every other asset class. I'm an investor in those asset classes, but I'm an investor passively because I do not understand them to the extent of that as much as the people I invest with. But we're incredibly bullish on short-term rentals for a couple of reasons. First and foremost is cash flow, right? We believe in investing for income and in income, and Airbnbs are one of the highest, if not the highest yielding asset classes when operated well. Secondly, the lack of competition in the industry is massive, right? In commercial and multifamily, I mean, you're competing against BlackRock, Blackstone, people who have their shit together every single day. You don't have your shit together one day, you're going to be out, in a heartbeat. In short-term rentals, 95 to 99% of the time, you're competing against, Mama Joe and Grandpa Bob down the street who have some IKEA furniture in a room and calling it an Airbnb and really happy with making a couple $100 in cash flow a month. The arbitrage opportunity is incredible, right? Because they're not really looking at it like a business. And lastly, you brought up a really important point, which is we are buying single family homes based on the value and operating them and selling them eventually based on revenue, right? Which is an arbitrage and a development in itself without actually development. In fact, we see development like returns without taking development like risk, right? In addition to significantly better cash flows during the hold period, right? If you compare it to a Class B value add multifamily, which might be a great deal, you're rarely ever going to hit that pref in that deal because it's not a cash flow focused investment. You're going to get about 75 to 85% of your return on exit. We are much more even. You're going to get about half your return during the hold period and about half your return on exit. So from a risk adjusted perspective, and for the reasons I mentioned earlier, we believe it's a great complement to most people.
Well, and that does set you apart. I mean, a lot of private investors, private lenders that get involved in a project, a lot of times, even on a preferred return, they're not seeing anything like till 3 years down the road. But with your Airbnb model or short-term rental, you got cash flow and income coming like pretty much at the beginning.
Oh yeah, our first distribution usually happens within, we tell investors in roughly about 6 months, right? And when you look at our trailing, I think it's about 242 months of history at this point across all our portfolios. They're roughly, we're above an 8 to a 12% cash on cash on a trending basis, typically almost all the time.
That's fantastic, 8% to 12%. And my next question is going to be around building a team and also wrapping up with the topic of AI, which is all the buzz these days. It's amazing what has happened in the past 5 months. Absolutely mind-blowing. And I haven't had a guest on the podcast, Raising Private Money, that would be more qualified to talk about AI than you yourself. But before we get to that topic, please go ahead and share with everyone how they can learn about how to invest in and become a passive investor in your company and learn more about it.
Yeah, so if you're an accredited investor and you're looking to diversify into short-term rentals, or it's something that piques your interest, you're more than welcome to head over to techvestor.com, request an invite, chat with someone on our investor relations team, review the materials, make sure it's a good fit for you. And if everything checks out, we'd love to have you as an LP here in our second fund, where we're targeting in that $50 to $100 million range and repeating the success of our first fund.
That's awesome. So that website is www.techvestor.com. And of course, that will be in the show notes as well. So AI is all the hot topic: artificial intelligence, Chat GPT, OpenAI, all that stuff. And now, I mean, my guess is you've probably written your own AI. I'm in a mastermind group that I was with last week, and this guy and his team, they got their own AI going on. So anyway, are you using AI in your company?
I wouldn't go as far as to say we're using a Chat GPT like AI, but we do have our own machine learning models and learning models in general that act behind the scenes that allow us to forecast, price better, understand what our future expenses may look like based on seasonality, based on trends, and predict based on the market if we don't actually have that data. So we actually do run some complex learning models in the background. Therefore, we can better operate, right? And we find that our costs to run and operate a property, property management fees included, typically run about 50 to 80% cheaper than if you were to go hire your traditional property manager in the space. And a lot of it happens to be because we use a lot of technology and tooling behind the scenes with a lot of learning models that allow us and guide us where we go. But we are heavily, heavily focused on building a human-driven environment with the help of technology, rather than the opposite of having technology replace humans.
And I appreciate that, because there's a lot of talk out there about what is the future. I mean, we know what Elon Musk and the rest of them are saying these days. Put 4.0 on pause. Put 4.0 on pause. Anyway, so I want to wrap up with this discussion.
I'm gonna go in here
in this topic, and that is on building a team. How big is your team at TechVestor, and what's your advice on growing a team and finding talent?
So our global team is about 30 people all across the country and across the world. And our leadership team is roughly about 8 to 10 people. The biggest advice I can tell you is don't be cheap and hire the best, right? It's a big thing that I saw at Facebook firsthand. And really, I think anyone who's really experienced a ton of success in their life will tell you, it's not because of the product necessarily or the company. It's because of the people who are building the product and leading the company. And so for us, we've made an incredible investment in our humans, hiring the best people. They were selected, recruited, headhunted specifically for their role. And it's something that's a big, big deal to us to have the best possible people on our team, dealing with our infrastructure, growing our infrastructure, and navigating problems. I can't stress this enough, especially in the syndication space. Having an incredible team to navigate problems, because problems and changes, whatever your investment thesis is on day one, is not where you will end up. I can assure you that things will change, things will come up, and you need people who can navigate those in real time and make decisions on your behalf as an LP. That is the job of a general partner.
Well, believe it or not, Steve, you just got a shout out from Elon Musk on YouTube. He's right there in the chat, and Elon says, "Thank you, bro." I think he's saying thank you, bro, for the hiring of humans.
I would imagine.
Awesome, that's great. Steve, this has just been amazing to have you on here. I respect you so much for what you're doing, and particularly your values, your core values, and your ethics as to how you're out to not just to make a buck, but to how it be a win-win for everybody on your team. Final comments before we wrap up raising private money.
First and foremost, thanks so much for having me, Jay, and thanks for those really courteous comments there as well. Anyone who's out there thinking about raising private money, it's out there. Go get it. Differentiate yourself. Listen to this podcast, and there's a ton of episodes here that Jay spits a lot of value. Go do. You'll find that 99% of people just simply don't do, and how far you can get by just doing. So get out there, give it a shot, and come compete. We want some competition. Bring it on.
You got it. There you have it, my friend. Thank you, my audience and followers, for tuning in to another episode of Raising Private Money. What a great time to have Elon Musk right here on the show with us today. And I'm here to serve you, my friend. It's all about raising private money, creating win-win scenarios. And I'll leave you with this. I need your help. I really would appreciate a subscribe, a like. If you're watching on YouTube right now, be sure and click that bell so you don't miss any more of the upcoming amazing episodes of Raising Private Money. I'm Jay Conner, your host, also known as the Private Money Authority, wishing you all the best. Here's to taking your business and your personal life to the next level. And we'll see you right here on the next Raising Private Money with Jay Conner.
Are you feeling inspired by the knowledge you gained in this episode? Then head over to jconner.com/moneyguide. That's jconner.com/moneyguide and download your free guide that shares 7 reasons why private money will skyrocket your real estate investing business right now. Again, that's jconner.com/moneyguide to get your free guide. We'll see you next time on Raising Private Money with Jay.
I'm fucking Elon Musk now.
John Ford's alive on Long Island. The UFO people aren't doing anything to get him out. Why? He has the best video, which I saw, a crystal clear video of a ship that crashed on Long Island. All right.
He's got
He made 4 copies of it, shipped it around the world. If he dies, you get to see him. If he would have released him when he filmed it, he would have been. They wouldn't have been able to put him in jail. People, you don't hide from it. When you hide, the government thinks it's more important than it is. You put a video out right now, people say, "Oh, that's a nice computer job." I mean, that's the way it goes now. The computer can film anything, make anything real. Watch any movie. Watch any Avatar. That's incredible. The most incredible movie. And that's all fake. None of it's real. People, we're not here showing you stuff. I mean, I got a lot of pictures. I'm putting a video together. I don't know. I'm not going to probably not put it online mainly because it'll just be laughed at, or then I'll be in more trouble. All right. I'm trying to do the best I can with as much truth as I can put out there. But people, when you go to a conference and you listen to these people, well, I was on a ship and they took me around the universe, and oh, well, they gave me a message that everything's okay. They're watching over us. Watching over us. That's the same as Jesus protecting you. Right, Tina? You know, we say we're protected. We're not protected on planet Earth.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
He
Tina.
was protecting me. Jesus may be protecting you, but I'm one of those lost sheep because you got these things coming into our atmosphere from another dimension, from another planet, any part of space, punching holes into our atmosphere, into our dimension, coming in unimpeded, invading our airspace without permission, crossing borders, bringing with them bacteria and God knows what, broaching your local airspace, invading your home under the guise of night, taking children, taking adults, taking them aboard their ship without your consent. Then they're torturing you. They're cutting chunks out of you, taking your unborn children, taking your ovaries, and
I don't care, bro. I ain't listening to that shit. Oh, he's here? Food's here? Okay. Yeah, I got some in the fridge too. I'm gonna take a few from the fridge. They give me a bunch in a bag. Okay. Doritos, Loco Tacos. Looks good. Hey, what's up, Thurston? How's it going, man? Hey, you guys know of any live streams going on right now? Well, they're on the dark side. Let's see, I can go back a little bit. Yo, the ISS main camera is stuck now. The ISS main camera is stuck now. I just need to text this guy. I mean, comment to this guy that he needs to refresh the ISS main camera. Last night it was the JPL. Whoa, that looks fucking cool. I should go play some Elite Dangerous VR. I'm going to go into this Native American guy's stream to go smoke some bud.
if you don't know anything about aliens, you're not going to be able to ask the right questions. When I met Hall, the first question I asked him, I said, "What's their favorite food?"
Wait, I'm gonna make it so they don't know mine. Let's go in here, enter studio, and I'm gonna go on a camera real quick, and then I'm gonna.
Oh, somebody's coming on. Let me bring them on. Say hello. Hello, greetings.
Greetings, my brother.
How are you? Where are you calling from?
Good. How are you? I'm from near Washington D.C. in Maryland.
Oh, really? Okay. Do you have a question you want to tell us a story? What do you want to do?
I just came here to smoke up and chill.
Okay, no problem. You can hang out there. You can just get there, watch, listen, whatever. No problem. Like I said, I put the link up for people to come on, just so that they can actually be part of this if they want to be. Well, we're going to do something really weird in a little while because Tina was exposed to radiation. The government, the hospitals, nobody can help her. She's got every symptom of radiation poisoning, and she's pretty sick a lot. Her dog died of radiation poisoning, but nobody wants to help her. Nobody wants to get back to me on the fact that radiation can't go up and down, which it's doing on Tina. All right. And I'll go into that when she pulls her Geiger counter out. We both bought one. I made her buy one.
So I want a question answered. So does Tommy. Sorry, my skin. I've had a skin infection as well. It's been awful. Right. So I have Hawkeye. Perhaps you can answer these questions for me and Tommy then. An electrical magnetic radiation tester. I got it off Amazon. There it is. So if you're watching this, you can see it. I'm going to turn it on. You just press the red button there. I'm just going to turn it on. Now, I have a smart screen computer, so it doesn't give off any background radiation or electrical magnetic waves because it's a smart, safe computer. But when I hold it towards me, it does tend to flash or beep. It's not doing it today. Oh, yeah, there we go. So at the bottom, it's normally it's a quite high dose. Hello, Tommy, I might be cured. Hold on. First time, it's not beeping. That is nothing there. Look at that. Wow.
I did some DMT once, and there was this magnet that I was putting up near my head, and it felt like it was interacting with my head magnetic field so much. It was crazy. There's like this huge attraction and repulsion like field. It was crazy.
Now this thing each week, it's actually saying nothing today, so which is really good.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But it normally flashes harmful, and it normally reads 3.76 or 2.25, and it always says harmful. So if it's an electrical, it measures volts per meter, which is the top one, which doesn't go off that often with me. But the micro Teslas hit very high. At the moment, it's reading safe. So micro Teslas are things that I should be worried about, and should I be emitting them?
Well, mine gets the frequency from my TV screen, so
mine's
on the top.
So let's have your answer then, Hawkeye. Can you throw some light on that for us?
Tesla emitter.
Mine's up to 300 right now. Oh, but no, I don't get anything on you either. Sometimes when I put my Geiger counter on her picture on the screen, my bottom level goes off on radiation, which is super crazy. I mean, we don't got trick meters.
That's a first. I think that's actually a first.
So, well, I'm glad you're not radioactive right now. People, radiation does not go up and down. It does not change, especially in a short period of time. Oh, you got a little bit.
I like your studio.
People, Tina, why don't you tell everybody about your conference coming up?
Well, it's actually been cancelled, Tommy.
Oh no!
Due to ticket sales, but what it is I've already paid out a lot of money, which I've been getting back. I've refunded everyone's tickets, but they wanted an extra 3,500 on top of what I've already paid, and I'm like, I can't pass it on I can't raise the prices of the tickets anymore. So I just said, like, you know what, call it a day and cancel it. But since then, I've been asked to speak at another seminar. I'm speaking at Bovary at Pusey Hall on the 20th of May. I'm a guest speaker there for the Basis Project, so you guys can look them up. I've been interviewed 3 times. Hello, Most Censored.
Greetings.
I'll be at Bovary Hall at Pusey on the 20th of May. I'm one of their speakers. I think I'll be speaking with Gary Heseltine's there releasing his new book. But yeah, so there's other things, and a few people have contacted
Gary
me.
Heseltine's like a military
to
spook.
say that they've been abducted. Now, one of the things I'm writing a few letters to people at the moment is
Gary Heseltine.
Airmen and people in the forces actually get they get looked after, they get to make reports, and they get checked upon. Why is it the public don't? But there's so many things that the government could be doing and is not doing, and there's so many other things going on around the world.
He was in the RAF Air Force Police.
Crazy. Any of you guys have a question? There seems to be a few of you having chit-chatty there, and it's good to see you all back.
Anybody, please come on if you want. But
he was presented with the PRG World Disclosure Report of Washington, D.C. by
has
Steve
one
Bass,
thing going on, and that's all part of UN Agenda 21-30. Our secret government has their project going on. You know, when they say they spend $40 billion on a ship, it's only a part of the figure. Now, and this is a fact, people, the United States spends $720 billion a year on the Army defense program. All right.
And what are they defending, Tommy? Because they're not defending the taxpayers.
No, you
guys agree.
Right. I was going to bring this up. I was hoping my friend would come on, Laura Eisenhower, but I was hoping somebody else would come on too. But he's recovering, so hopefully I can get him on soon. We are at war with alien races in space and on the ground, people. No matter what the UFO people tell you, they don't tell you the truth. All right. I saw 2 UFOs get blasted out of the sky 2 years ago. All right. I wasn't even looking. My partner goes, check that light. There's a big light out there. And I see this light going across the sky, and bam, it just shattered in multiple sparks. And then about a half later, another ship was coming by, and they blasted that apart.
Holy
right over. All right. So, people, all right, what I'm trying to say is we are at war. And then if my friend came on, he would go into the details. I don't want to go into all the details about the 3 wars we had in space with 2 different races. All right. And then what happened? Everybody could pull up Phil Snyder's story, what the government did. All right. And that's
our boy Phil Snyder, man. Rest in peace.
Right. Yeah. That's the second most important UFO story in this world right now. The first one is what happened with Mr. Tesla, what he created, and then it became the Philadelphia experiment, and then it became the Montauk Project. The most deadliest things that ever happened to the planet, which allowed this giant vortex to open and everything else. But check Instagram. They're showing your vortex is open and ships going through them, and normal people are supposedly filming this. Check that out. What's going down now, is dangerous. And if people don't want to relate to it, that's their choice. I mean, you could think that the good aliens are going to come and save us, or somebody's going to be elected.
What good aliens? People that and Jesus and God bless everybody, but I tell you what good aliens. So if these aliens were good, they wouldn't let people kill each other, nuke each other. They'd clean up radiation. They wouldn't allow plastics. They wouldn't allow us to poison this planet, kill, murder, and rape each other. They wouldn't allow children to starve, deaf people die of disease. Where are these good aliens? Where all this fighting's going on?
Probably out in Syria smoking some weed.
Where are they? There aren't. In my personal view, there are real good aliens. There must be a good alien out there if they put me back.
Or on the moon.
I mean, again, I'm doing a research, and I'm doing my new talk. It's called The Human Side of Alien Abduction. Okay. So this is a new talk I'll be giving soon, but just looking at it and checking some facts and going back, a lot of this is just ranting about why we're not protected. The human race should be worried. We're not being looked after. We're not being compensated. They're raping our world. They're taking stuff. The government, not only they're disclosing, its origin and intent. They said that in 1946, 80 years ago, and in 1888. Where are these things from? And what do they want? You're telling me in over 120 years they couldn't come up with one good idea? Really? I mean, it astounds me. But there are people that have actually died on islands. There was an incident. I've got to just check my facts here now. That the military was called to an island. Is it the Colares Islands? It was an invasion in Brazil, and the military were called there for a year. Over 400 people died from being taken. They said that this bright white light came from the skies, invaded their homes, would take people outside. These beams of light would come down from the skies, and some of the people were put back paralyzed, some come back dead, some didn't come back at all. And the military went there and witnessed this. So where on earth, where are the bodies? Why isn't people? Why is it? It's probably been looked at. The United States Air Force went there. So all of it. People should be worried. If abduction, I'm lucky enough to come back. Not that I've come back probably in best of health, but people have died from being abducted, and it is scary. So where are these good aliens when all these people were getting killed and murdered? In dying. Sorry, I've been messaged like crazy. I do apologize.
That little ship going around in a circle. I got one over here with the Earth going around with an ET sitting on top of the rack going around the Earth that's spinning around in the air. But people, this is the most serious thing. I mean, it's behind. They always say the government's going to do a fake UFO attack and all that. No, they're going to do a war, and aliens going to get involved. They always have been involved, but not to help us. I don't know if you know, aliens were involved in Vietnam as well. All my friends went. I ended up not going. I almost did. But when they came back, there was UFOs and aliens and the whole thing going on in Vietnam. All right? You don't hear much about that either. So where are we going to go with the truth? Probably nowhere soon. But I just want people to be aware that it's a real thing. Not like that we're all crazy and we just want to make money and tell stories. I'm not making money. I don't make money on this. Tina hopefully will get a book out. I got more information about that. I didn't want to talk about it on the show, Tina. We'll talk about that.
It's been the bane of my life. People just don't want me to get that book out.
I have a person that'll publish it herself as well. All right. She'll do it probably for nothing if she likes your book. But we'll talk about that. Not now. I just met her over the weekend. So my book, I can't get anybody to edit it. It's a controversial story, but it's basically for women, and it's what's really going on. Now, if people are ready, the truth's there. I always said, the truth's out there. It's right there if you want it. You don't have to go too far. You don't have to go around the world to find it. It's all inside the United States. It's around. Jersey is a really hot spot. Jersey had the first army base in the United States, people. Let's see, in maybe 2000, around there somewhere, they created 6 super soldiers in Picatinny Arsenal.
6 super soldiers in Picatinny Arsenal.
Who knows where they went? Because they were over 7 feet tall, and their eyes were bright red. They couldn't walk the streets. They had these black trailers come in and take them away because they couldn't fit in a car. So whatever they did with them, I don't know. My friend worked inside there, and it's incredible. When I left Jersey, on the newspapers, Picatinny Arsenal's closing. All right, a week before that, they spent $4 million there. And then the next week, they're closing it. Why would you spend $4 million on a base that you're closing? They never close it. But that's when they started working. My friend that worked there said the laboratory is the most incredible laboratory he ever saw. And they all had to walk around with radiation badges. So guess what? It was a hardcore base. And it still is, probably. I'm not in Jersey anymore. But don't forget, New York.
Is he really lighting up a bong on our show? Is he really lighting up dope, mate? You got to come on. Come on, Hawkeye. We can't have you smoking dope on TV, mate.
I'm going to kind of.
Oh, no, sorry. We can't have that.
Right. Sorry, Mr. Hawkeye. Well, this isn't a comedy show. I mean, it was cute, but that was about it. All right. Right. I mean, he admitted he was smoking. So, yeah, we don't need that right now. This is as serious as it gets, people. I'm putting my life on the line. Tina's putting her life on the line to bring truth out. Not to hide from it, not to go in a hole or anything else. No, to put it out there. These UFO people that go out and say something, when they put themselves on the line, they are a victim.
Twins, if I can get inside
many of
the
them
facility
are attacked.
somehow.
Robert Morning Sky, who I met many years
That's
ago,
where
was
the
the
warp
first
core
person
to
in the
put into
United
the ship.
States talking about Planet
go.
X. And then he said he's doing a vision quest, and he'll actually introduce us to aliens. I went on it. I went on it with him for a week.
I don't want to be introduced to aliens, thank you.
Well, no, but he wanted to show us the base where they are and things like that. Not like, hey, here's Mr. Joe Alien. But when we were there, a ship came over us. All kinds of things happened. I was working for the phone company. The phone company tried to say I was hurt on a UFO because I actually got hurt on a job. I was in court 2 years against that while the phone company said I was hurt on a UFO. New Jersey Bell Telephone Company. For real. And then my lawyer retired. And then the new lawyer came on and says, I want $10,000 to bring your case and follow your case. I said, I don't have that kind of money. He goes, you'll lose anyway. This guy was paid off before he even took my case. So again, people, I'm not a storyteller. Most people know me as crazy because I talk about UFOs. All right. But it's real. I mean, my experiences started when I was 6. People. Oh, I can't hear you, Tina. What, Tina? I don't hear you, Tina. What's going on?
I just had these new cards made. So they go International Warfare, T.A. Barrett. So there you go. And then on the back, I don't know if you can screenshot it, guys. I'll hold it up. That takes you straight to our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I also have, I'm not sure
chicken is
why that's gone. I've got a little PA who helps me a couple of days a week, and she's been doing all my stuff while I've been busy in between stuff. So you can email her. I'll put her email up next week. But I know we've got a couple of minutes, but I've got to shoot off now. I do apologise. But sorry for the last 3 weeks, and we'll see you next week. Please, guys, come back on the show. Please ask us questions. That's what we're
tell them about your other 2 books at least.
So, okay. So we'll have the guys there. You can see top shelf. That's on Amazon, and the Checkpoint. Now I'm also releasing another book which hopefully is going through. It's called The Two-Edged Sword. So again, that's part 2 to the Checkpoint up there. That's brilliant. The Guardians of the Light and Brotherhood of the Night. Brilliant read. That's a very good story. I wrote that story in the South. I wrote everything in the South, and it's a fantasy book. It's pretty cool. I liked it. I've read it a few times myself. But guys, please keep looking up, document, write down what you've seen, get the times, get your location.
Hey everybody, welcome to Unidentified S4.
Get video
so you guys know me. Always as promised, if I put up a UFO video and there's a lot of debate about
find
it.
out what's going on in your area. Join a group.
I do my due diligence and I dig and dig and dig and dig.
There's lots of things you can do to help yourself.
If
you can find anywhere in the UK
to make everybody happy, because that's what investigating is all about. Now, if you guys and girls remember yesterday, I uploaded a UFO video.
Please, guys, you'll see me. Oh, by the way,
right now for everyone.
Next week,
and this UFO video was pretty wild. It was a UFO sighting over Mexico, and in this UFO sighting, it appears you hear a bunch of people talking in the background, and you see this very bright object in the sky, right?
As one of the biggest cases
and in Mexican, they're yelling, "Is it a plane?
So I've been invited to go along and have a look and meet and greet all the other abductees there, which would be
commiserating
great.
with each
I've met a
other,
few
and they
before,
can't
very
seem
nice
to
people,
figure out
some of them men,
with
very
this
nice
highly
men, very nice
illuminated object.
So I'm looking forward to that, but that's not until the 21st. So you'll see me again next week on the 18th. I'm going on the 21st, so on the 25th, the week after. we'll
So
have
we
some
can see a
news.
very highly illuminated
Is weed
object
illegal?
cutting
No,
through the clouds, right?
weed is illegal in the
But
UK.
what
It's
we
highly
didn't notice
illegal.
yesterday,
You're
because
not
the
allowed to
quality of
publicise
video
it.
is a
You're
little
not allowed to
poor,
promote it, and
there's
you're not allowed to be
actually an
seen doing it,
object
unfortunately. So
in front
that is, we
of
don't
this
give consent
craft
for that on a show. We're
that
not
I
allowed
was
to.
not able
I
to
don't
make
want to be
out
arrested.
until
I
I
don't
did
agree with
some
drug
tweaking
paraphernalia
on the
either.
video
So
footage. So
there you go.
the video
Full
footage
time
is very
doesn't,
cloudy,
so we
okay?
can't be seen
But
to be
when there's
advocating
breaks
that
in the clouds,
due to our
I
watches and the
noticed
time and
another
it being annoying.
object in
I don't
front
promote anything like
of the
that
craft. So
on
right
the
about
show.
now, another
What
object
people
is
do is
breaking
their
through the
personal thing.
clouds.
It's
And
legal or
then the
not, it's their
object
choice.
that we
They
see now
serve
highly
the consequences
illuminated
if they get
comes
caught, if
through,
it's illegal
okay?
and things like that.
So I'm going to
But
just
for
let
me
this finish
personally,
because people are still rolling
whatever
in the
helps a
chat
person
'cause
move forward
I just
spiritually
put
is
this
what's
up. I just
important,
got done with my
not
investigation.
mentally or
So I do not
psychotically
think
or
this
whatever
is
the
a
words
plane,
are.
okay?
All
Number
right.
one,
You're
my
not space
reasons would
invention. You
be
can smoke
this
what you
object
want
was
in
not
your own
only
home, no
sighted
problem with
here
that. We
in
just
Mexico
can't
City,
air it
it
on
was sighted
TV, I'm
in
afraid.
other places
But with that, guys, I'll
throughout
be
the
back
country
next
as
week.
well, and I have
Please
footage
come on the show if
to
you want
show
us
you
to
of that.
interview
Let me
you
go
and
ahead
have
and
some
pull up
questions
this
ready.
one real
Until
quick,
then, I'll
just
see
to
you
show
guys
you
next week
another
and keep looking
person
up. I'm
caught this
Binting Brad here in Southampton
craft.
in the UK.
As you can see,
Bye,
Have a
guys.
nice
this
Tina.
is another
Bye
spot
bye.
where
It's
this
always a
craft was
pleasure.
filmed. And it's
All right,
just
people.
going
I've
along
seen
the
a
sky
bird.
there. It's got the
Her
one
story is
bright
the most
object
important
in
UFO
front
story, no matter what
and
other
the other
people say. Travis Walton was
illuminated object
documented.
tailing behind it.
All right,
So
and he
this
did a
is
movie
the
in it. That's
same
why it's
craft
considered like
in a
one of the most
second
important UFO
location
stories.
now,
But
which I
nothing
thought was
really
pretty cool
important
because
happened.
that tells me a couple things.
What
One,
happened
it's
to
not
Tina
hoaxed.
is much more
Two,
important.
it's being seen by multiple people, and those are the things I like
All
to
right,
see. And when he
I'm
zooms
going
in,
to
you
say
can
a
tell
couple
this is the
things
same
which I was
craft,
going to try to get in
lower
today
in
if
the
we had
sky,
special
just
people.
going a different direction. And there it is, okay? Now,
All right, now,
right after this is done
sorry
playing,
people,
we're gonna get down
if
to
you
the
stop playing games, I
honey
don't want
of
to
it.
keep you here. Sorry.
Because in front of this craft, I'd say about, I don't know, let's just call it 10 feet for argument's sake. There's a small white orb in front of the light craft. Okay, let me remove this. So now I'm going to go to this other guy's channel because he had the best enhancement of it. Now listen to what he says, and he's going to show you this this second object.
Whatever this thing is that we clearly see in both videos appears to be actually
Unidentified as well. What is this?
The way of connecting to the divine. It's the universal unconsciousness would be more my description of that. And so, but they do it so fleetingly, or they're so.
Producer Michael, and today we welcome back to the show a good friend and psychotherapist, Merle Yost. And he's been on the show before teaching us about boundaries, a sense of self, and today he's coming back to talk about spirituality and sexuality, which is definitely a hot topic. But before we get started, Michael has a few announcements.
Hi, everybody, and yes, welcome to our show. We've got some great stuff coming up for you guys. Next week, it's our show falls on tax day when everybody has to pay their taxes. So in honor of that, we're going to have our good friend and witchcraft practitioner, Sandra Inman, on, all the way from Australia, and she'll be doing a show on prosperity magic to help you guys out a little bit with that. And then the last Tuesday, we have Dolly Saffron, who was subject of a alien abduction, and we'll have our good friend, Matt Apsher, co-hosting that one. So you guys definitely want to tune in for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Get all the information on our website, sixthsensesociety.com, SAXTH, all spelled out. And while you're there, if you can afford to, buy us a coffee on Ko-Fi. But one of the biggest things you can do is go to YouTube and on our channel, click like and subscribe, and that helps a lot. And we're going to start working on guests for May as well. So if you guys have any recommendations, reach out to us, and we're always happy to find new people. And then also in May, we're starting our series of 7-week series of tarot classes again. So if you guys are interested in that, reach out also, and we'll give you guys all the information as well. So lots going on, and I don't want to take up too much time because I love having Merle on. It's just so much fun and so fascinating. So I'm going to kick it back to you guys. So take it away, Krista.
Great. Thank you, Michael. And welcome, Merle.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be back. It's always fun.
It is fun. So I'm interested, before we get started, sort of when you got interested in the concept of blending spirituality and sexuality, because not everybody will necessarily even do that in their lifetime.
I think it came out of my long-term relationship. I was in a relationship for 19 years, and we had a really profound connection and a really intense sexual connection. And just the longer and more we got into this, we ended up getting into these really profound altered states that were deeply connected. And part of that was also my deepening into Buddhism and my explorations there. But then the combination of that, and then I had to step back and look to see what created those conditions. But part of it was just the fact that we had such a deep connection and had been essentially monogamous for a long, long time. And so over 15 years. So that really made a really big difference.
And so when you talk about spirituality and in this context, what does that really mean for you?
I think, I think I have to give a little context to that. Sexual energy is life energy. I mean, on every level. And so, well, we were two men and we weren't interested in creating a child or life, but there was still the life that we were connected to in between the two of us in that endeavor. And as we, over time, revealed more and more and more of who we were to each other, and especially sexually, in terms of what are your deepest fantasies, what really turns you on, what's going on inside of you when we're having sex, and not being shamed by that and incorporating that in some form, there creates this.
I wish it was a woman presenting instead of a man. God damn.
Connection and letting it go. And generally, in my experience, the more time that you spend having sex with someone, or more over length of time, the greater potential for pleasure. Because when you first meet somebody and you have sex with them, you're so busy trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing, what they want or what they don't want. And I'm a massive proponent of, before you ever have sex with somebody, you should have long conversations with them about what sex means.
Long conversations.
Not doing that is like throwing a Hail Mary pass, and you hope that there's somebody in the end zone to catch it. And instead of having this dialogue beforehand, and you have a roadmap to what works for this person and what doesn't, so that it makes the whole interaction a whole lot easier. Because we so complicate first sex with somebody, unless it's just a sheer holes and poles, and we're going to get off as quickly as possible and move on, and that's fine if that works for you. Personally, I find
I don't really want to watch this shit. Some weird shit, bro. And there, we got some more fucking weirdos live. Great.
Today, if you are watching us live, welcome. If you are watching us on the replay, #replay, wherever you're watching us at, so we can send you some love. Either way, if you are watching this video, if you could share this video on whatever platform you're on, so we can get more eyes and more ears on this awesome content, we would so appreciate it. Her Talk Show is here to inspire. We're here to have you thinking outside the box in no time. Today, I'm speaking with an amazing woman named Sharon Dhaliwal. Sharon is a devoted wife to her high school sweetheart, Cam, and mother to 3 children, Aviana, 3 years, Kyle, 6 years, and Jaden, 9 years, living a life in Punjabi. Yeah, Punjabi household. Yes, it has its ups and downs. She suffers postpartum depression following the birth of her first child. I can relate. And a third led her to a spiritual awakening. I love that. She officially just started her spiritual business, Spark Up Your Light. This has grown organically from an Instagram page, created for her to express herself to a healing and wellness business. She's excited to see where this next chapter of her life takes her. Yes, girl. How are you, Sharon?
I'm really well. I'm really excited, and I'm so glad I've stepped out of my comfort zone and doing something like this, which I've never done before.
That's nacho cheese.
Yes, I'm so excited. And this is what it's all about, right? Stepping into fear, doing courageous things, saying names that you don't know how to pronounce, all things, all things that has us like, you know, feeling a little nervous, and then you do the thing and you wind up realizing that nothing happens, nothing bad happens. We're all good. We're all still alive at the end of it, and we can move on and move up.
Totally. So where would you like me to start?
So you know what? This podcast is all dedicated to just teaching anything through storytelling, through inspirational thoughts, ideas, teachings. So you know what? Just like your life, your journey, what has it taught you? What do you know? What do you wish the rest of the humans knew?
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm 37. Born in 1985. I'm 37 years old. I have been married for 11 years. I might get that wrong. I've been with my husband for like 20 years, over 20 years. As you said at the beginning, we met in high school. We met when we were 16 and been together ever since. Major drama. It's been good. I was still enjoying married life, and yeah, like my childhood growing up, I had a fun.
Man, that Mountain Dew got some crack in it, boy. Is that crack, boy? No music right now, but we will have music in the future. What the fuck time is it? It's already 4 p.m., man. God damn. That's what happens when you always watch a Canadian West Coast music show. I mean, a late night show. Fucking spaced out radio. And then you watch a bunch of shows after that. What do we got tonight? Oh, some weird shit again. Hey, we got Science Bob coming on. Fuck yeah, dude. Yes. I should go on with Science Bob. I should go on with Science Bob next month. Science Bob, I want to go on with you, man. Yo, Science Bob. Shout out to Science Bob. I got to go on fucking with Science Bob. I'm going to go on with Science Bob. We're going to teach people how to do CE5. We're going to teach people how to do their own imaging and surveillance of these things and summoning of them. Teach them how to recover up close things if they can, or maybe even pursue low flying larger objects and shit like that. See, maybe if they land, we could teach them all kinds of stuff. We could teach them the signals intelligence, especially with your background, the signals intelligence and all that cool stuff, radio waves and detecting if it's an airplane or some other weird shit. I mean, it's easy to tell if it's a fucking airplane or not, but unless it's really like, I don't know. I don't think the signals intelligence is very important when it comes to this stuff, but it might be cool if we could maybe try to establish some fucking signals communication with these objects, which I've heard they've done electromagnetic jamming. So if they can do jamming, that means they can probably do some fucking communication with radio waves and shit. So there probably is a really cool signals communication with the aliens and the shit that could be really important. We could establish a secure line of communications with the aliens potentially. That should be cool. establish some really good communication protocol with the aliens and the Galactic Federation. Oh, and then we have freaking Linda Thompson the day after Science Bob and Friends. Fuck yeah, dude. We got the whole family coming on. Yeah, we're going from Samantha Mowat to the real stuff with Science Bob and Linda Thompson. Hell yeah. What the hell are you doing with your voice?
So those are the extremes that we used to go to like hide and go away. Say we were staying at a friend's house, but we were really out. And yeah, my boyfriend was always my husband. So it's but yeah, so like that was me being a teenager. My parents, like, because they were from India and they were like, my dad was a bus driver most of his life. He still does driving jobs. My mom was a factory worker. And like she's become more skilled, but she's still working like in an assembly line. So to them, like life was all about education and studying. My mom always used to say to us, like, you need to study and work hard at school so you don't have to do the jobs that we had to do. Like that's what, those were their inspirations for us. So I did my degree. I got first class honors in criminology and psychology, which I actually really enjoyed. Straight away, I went on to do my master's. So I did that in criminology and criminal justice. Basically, because when you're Indian, you finish a degree, you're either getting married or like getting a proper job. And I wasn't ready to do either of those. So I decided I'll do my master's, contemplated a PhD, but I think my brain was fried by that point, and I did actually need a break. And yeah, I started like, you know, in the world of like work and proper jobs. I worked in retail throughout university and things like that. But then I found a job, which was like technically my dream job, which is, I have just left it recently. I always said I wanted a job where I was doing different things every day, where I wasn't just stuck in an office.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's gonna be like in 31 hours. Baptiste is a French guy. Baptiste, just say WB. Let's say WB. Forgot what his French ufologist. Oh yeah, Baptiste Friescourt. That's his fucking name. Oh, it's a parody account. What the fuck? Fucking Rand Corporation. I was researching the Rand Corporation deeply last month, or no, not last month, but whenever, a few months ago. I don't know. Time goes quick. Or yeah, a month ago, couple months ago. Graham Rendell, I'll follow him. I don't know. I don't think I should follow Rand Corporation because it's gonna be full of bullshit. But I know they used to write a lot of reports on cool shit. Especially, I think, when it comes to UFOs and stuff. I'm not gonna follow them. That's just bullshit. Follow Linda Thompson. Well, what the fuck? What the hell? Damn, she fell on her face or some shit, man. That's like freaking Paul Hillier, man. Kelly. Beautiful, man. Take my name off this. I'll take my name off. Take my name right there. Alright, that's enough of that shit. I need to take a pee-pee. I need to take a pee-pee! Oh my god, my brother!
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So I got a couple of video clips to show you. It's like a lot of these people are filming a lot of these, I'm going to say UFOs or probably UAPs, which there's a whole definition for that now. Basically stuff that we may have created or replicated out there. And a lot of people are filming stuff from airplanes. So the video clips I'm going to show you were actually filmed from airplanes. This first one I'm going to show you is kind of circulating around right now, and I want to make sure I at least get this out to you guys so you can see it. So let me quit my yap and let me go ahead and let this first clip play for you. All right, y'all, so slowing this down a little bit, it's very interesting. This craft is actually flying almost belly to the side, which is something that Bob Lazar described a long time ago when he was talking about the sport model. It's going to come up here in just a minute. I just kind of slowed it down so you guys can see the craft. But it's something that he described when the craft is flying in particular modes. You guys see there, looks like it's flying almost sideways there. And you're going to see it come back and fly again in just a minute, a little bit slowed down. But I thought that that was interesting because these pilots, see, there it is there. You guys see this? Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting clip that these pilots had caught. And actually, the pilots are able to come out and show more, which is actually pretty good. So there it is, kind of a still image of this craft here flying. So of course, it looks like it's flying on the side. So you guys put your comments down below what you think about this first clip. And this next clip, I'm going to just let it play real quick again.
UFO ตัดไปไฟลายครับ
kita mendapat vlogger na nahulog di film na ito. Kita mendapat vlogger na nahulog di film na ito.
So the second clip was interesting as well. It wasn't actually filmed from a plane, but you guys can see this here. At first, when I first saw it, I was like, well, maybe that's a balloon or something. But it does look somewhat translucent, I guess, in a way. And then he zooms out on it. But look at that there. It looks kind of like the Wonder Woman jet or something like that. So put your comments down below of what you think about this particular clip as well. That's why I let kind of the audio play so you guys can hear that. Didn't have too much of a translation for it. Wanted you guys to actually see that. And then this last clip, I have shown this before on the channel, but I didn't have the complete audio for it. So I'm gonna let this one play with the complete audio. This one was actually really weird. This was filmed from a plane as well. This is a couple years old, but you guys can clearly see 3 rows of lights, and it looks like they're kind of rotating around and flying through a cloud. And they actually filmed the entire duration of this until they disappear. So here it is right here.
I don't know what that is. That is some weird shit.
Hey, oh, that's in 4 days. That's gonna be lit though. That's gonna be lit. That's my boy fucking John Burroughs from the Rendlesham Forest incident when he got to touch the triangle UFO and read the hieroglyphs and get the motherfucking radiation and get knocked out by that bitch. That's my boy. That's the only person to receive fucking money for getting hurt by a UFO. Oh, it's April Fool's Day.
Welcome to another edition of UFO Man Live. My name is Tom Reed, and tonight we have.
And I'm Rihanna Alley.
Yeah, you're Rihanna Alley, and that's Brittany Barbieri. So we have two girls co-hosting this evening. One identifies as a man. So welcome to UFO Man Live and April Fools.
Yeah.
So tonight we have Tom Reed and Rihanna Alley. Also, we have Race Hobbs coming as a guest, but he's stuck in traffic right at the moment, and he is going to come this evening, so we will be talking to him.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, man. So here we are again, right?
Yeah.
At least we know Race will do his best. He's stuck in traffic. So anyway, yeah, we've got a couple of things. So I came up to, if you don't mind me jumping in here, Tim.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I just want to make sure it's okay. So we came up to North Carolina because Rihanna and I are now going to be working with the Spruce Pine
Alien Festival.
Yeah.
.com.
Is it .com?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spruce Pine Alien
so
Festival.
I guess
there has to be fucking like weird ass authorities watching me and shit. Oh, Chrissy Newton uploaded something. I'm gonna fucking unsubscribe from these other people because I don't know when I get fucking notifications for this shit.
Battling things like alcohol.
I don't want to get notifications from these people. It's made for fucking women anyway, some weird ass women.
The Last of Us is a worldwide
UFO Expo, channel's sponsor, just got offered an opportunity to take over the new or team up or hold the UFO Fest up here. So again, it looks like UFO Man will be the primary. I've had a couple of drinks today. I should get into that too. We went to a wine tasting thing, and then we followed it with a couple of beer chasers. Anyway, so
that's what you do in North Carolina.
Yeah, there's nothing out here. If you go out here, it's like there's bears out here. Seriously, I was out last night and I heard this rustling, right? And our neighbor is like, you got to be careful. There's black bear out here. And I'm like, seriously? And then we heard some gunshots, right? And they're like, no, those are just hunters and bullets.
They're just neighbors.
So I'm like, you got bears and bullets. And I'm thinking to myself, how lucky I am to live where I do. Right?
So not Rob.
Yeah. So anyway, so back to the festival. So it looks like UFO Expo. We'll have, UFO Man broadcasting live from there. I talked to John Yotes today, and he is going to also.
I wish I lived in an area that was cool with shooting guns out in public or out in the woods and shit. I wish I lived in a better county. This county in the state sucks. They don't have open carry. They don't have concealed carry. They don't have much of any shooting unless you have your own private property.
Premiere his film with Whitney Strieber, which I think you guys might remember. He was on this show too a little while back.
Yeah, and John Yost rocks. He's a really nice guy. Yeah.
Terrific guy. And so just to give you an idea what's happening, this isn't posted anywhere. The Spruce Pine UFO Fest is going to have Brittany Barbieri,
Mike Barra,
myself,
David
Adair, and UFO Man will be the network broadcasting live from there. So it's more of a street fest, but those who might live in North Carolina, it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool little festival. So
how long is the festival?
We met with the mayor. We went with the mayor. I went to lunch with the mayor of the town. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. How long is the festival? How many days?
It's going to be 1 day from 10 to 7 on June 10th, Saturday.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 3/4 of a mile of nothing but 150 different vendors all down the street.
Yeah, 150 vendors.
We're going to be doing the UFO Expo for the Film Fest.
Right.
So we're going to be bringing all these new films and speakers and doing tracks, just basically like what our forte is for the UFO Expo.
I heard that you have a 4,000 square foot room that you got to fill.
Well, that is to be determined. We're kind of modifying right now where we're going to be because there's so many great spots down
I
there.
like your hair like that.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So there's so many great spots down there in downtown Spruce Pine that we really don't know exactly where we're going to be, but it's going to be a huge
All right,
party.
so they gave us two options, right? They gave us this big factory, which has the big pedestals in the middle and everything. It's huge. But then we saw this other spot over like this really swank little
art gallery.
Yes. And upstairs, and it was all white with like, it was just beautiful and modern, but it doesn't hold as many people, maybe 125. And so we're trying to like flip the speakers, like have a speaker, then a film, show a film, then a speaker, show a film. So not everybody's going to be there at once. It's a much smaller spot, but it's right downtown with a bar next door, drinks, the whole bit.
Right.
So,
So you could have the speaker at the swanky place, and you could have the films in that big warehouse.
Yeah, we're kind of like that, where we're still.
And we're actually going to be doing some live broadcasting also at Beer Dogs, which is one of our big sponsors. It's a brewery down there, and they're going to be making a special alien brew, green with like green
beer.
foam on it.
Bara speaking there, Brittany speaking there. Yeah.
Yep, it's going to be specifically made just for this event.
Yeah.
And
if you guys want to know who they were talking about, Brittany Barbieri, she is on our channel as an interview, so you can check that out. I want to shout out to Rich New Design. He's been asking what city exactly in North Carolina.
Spruce Pine, North Carolina, which is about an hour away from Asheville. Like where we are at right now, we're in Bat Cave.
We're in
North
Bat
Carolina.
Cave. Believe it.
Yeah.
Believe it. We're in Bat Cave.
Yeah. 1 hour away from Spruce Pine. So we were there all day yesterday, and it's just a
Can we
really
say that at the same
quaint
time? Bat Cave. 1, 2, 3.
Bat
We're Bat Cave.
UFO supplier.
That's where we are.
So now I have to say this. I've always said that Tom is bat blank crazy, and now we know he is because he's in Bat Cave.
I never
So
thought
there
I'd
you
be in
go.
a town called Bat Cave, man. It was like, and it's creepy here.
fungi cause a worldwide pandemic for real? Well, we asked experts this evening.
Good afternoon, Dr. Greer.
Hello, Pat. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Good, good. Well, we're excited to give everyone an update. We've got a lot of questions
Yes.
that have been coming in about the news story this week.
Right. Earlier this week, the Department of Energy announced a monumental milestone in the nuclear fleet. The Department of Energy announced a monumental milestone in the nuclear fleet. The Department of Energy announced a monumental milestone in the nuclear fusion research. A net energy gain was achieved for the first time in history by scientists from the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California. So can you talk a little bit about your thoughts when you heard this and your thoughts now that you've had a chance to kind of look into this a little more?
Well, we have looked into it very carefully. And one of the things that was not focused on is some really key things about this. The net energy gain that they achieved was the equivalent of 0.1 kilowatt hour. So that's a tenth of a kilowatt for an hour, which is enough to boil a kettle of water. They've spent $3.5 billion of our taxpayer money from the Department of Energy at Lawrence Livermore. There have been $5 billion spent on private fusion initiatives. This particular reaction, the one silver lining in it, is that scientifically they are claiming they got more energy out than in. So they are admitting what is called an over unity result. Over unity meaning you put in 1 unit of power and you get out 2 or what have you. But in this case, the amount of gain was very, very small. It took a couple of hundred high-powered, high-energy lasers aimed at a pellet of tritium and deuterium, which are radioactive isotopes, to smash them together. And when you see the headline that they got more energy out than in because of fusion, which is when 2 atoms fuse together, like in the sun or a hydrogen bomb, what they're leaving out is the enormous amount of energy it took to run these nearly 200 lasers. So it's a little bit, it's a very deceptive, actually. And I would go close to calling this fraudulent, because it's like you plugging in your electric car to a coal-fired grid and saying you're driving on free electricity, because once you get the car running, it's not using any electricity from the grid anymore. But of course it runs down, and each time you have to then plug it in again, and it's pulling energy out of a coal-fired, gas-fired, oil-fired grid for 88% of the energy that we use in our electric grid. So it's a very interesting announcement. Now, I guess from a theoretical point of view, they achieved a fusion event, which they have been searching for a long time. But to claim that this is some kind of solution for a carbon-free energy future brings up a whole lot of issues. Number one, you can't discount to zero the amount of energy it takes to run the machine. So in this case, if you factor in the amount of energy it took to get those 2 atoms to fuse together, it was nowhere near over unity. It was nowhere near a net energy gain. It was a enormous 1,200 times, 1,200 times energy loss. So it took 1,200 times more energy from the lasers to create the ignition, they call it, and the fusion, where they got this tiny gain. Now, I'm not sure in what universe they think that you would achieve that reaction without having to put energy into the system. I guess one could theoretically claim that once you got it going, it could become a chain reaction. The problem with that is the temperatures involved were 3 million degrees. In some of the private fusion experiments, they've been 300 million degrees. This brings up a big issue of safety. Who wants something that is that hot operating somewhere? Because if it were to have a breach, that amount of temperature would ignite the oxygen in the air. So you're getting into all kinds of technical issues beyond just the theoretical physics of, yes, we achieved fusion. But I want to remind people, a hydrogen bomb is a fusion reaction. Now, what do I mean? hydrogen bombs as opposed to atomic bombs, or hydrogen bombs are also called thermonuclear bombs. They usually use a small atomic bomb to force fusion, and tritium is also used in hydrogen bombs, nuclear warheads, and that then causes fusion that causes this explosive energy release known as a nuclear weapon. Now, in this case, they're doing it on such a small scale that they're not having an explosion. The question is, causing that to be a routine source of energy is or certainly facts that are not in evidence from a science
Hard to believe victory is within reach. Blood on my knees. Before the dawn in my
Oh, there's some really interesting stuff going on behind the scenes. Danny Sheehan is saying that Radiance Technologies is now getting funding for billions of dollars. And this is a company that Jay Stratton and Travis Taylor have both joined. And the hint is that they might be wanting to reverse engineer alien technology. And now all of a sudden this company that does a lot of things is getting billions of dollars in funding working with the Space Force. And there's some other stuff, so let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, and smash the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. I would love to see you guys there. And of course, as always, comment below and let me know what you think. I made a video yesterday about how various people like James Fox are saying that there is a reverse engineering program that now Congress is actually being given some briefings on, maybe even some access to. James Fox said that certain people with the right clearances are even being taken to the labs where this reverse engineering is going on. He didn't specifically say that Congress people were being taken to these labs. I'm not sure if they have the right clearances. They're not in the military, etc. So I don't know who can get access to those labs. But he does strongly indicate that some people are being taken to these labs. And he says, he could take you there if you had the right clearance. So I don't know if that means that he's been there or if he, knows people who have. But anyway, it's very exciting. And we have other Congress people like Tim Burchett and others, Matt Gaetz, talking about a very direct contact with UFOs and also crash retrieval programs and so on. Well, a few months ago, Travis Taylor came out to George Knapp and said that he and Jay Stratton had joined Radiance Technologies. And it was strongly hinted at in that news piece by George Knapp that Radiance Technologies, or at least some subset of it, was positioning itself to reverse engineer UFO technology. How would this come to be? Well, that's why they would hire some people like Travis Taylor and Jay Stratton, who are intimately connected with some of the government's involvement in UFO UAP studies. Travis Taylor was the chief scientist for the UAP task force, in addition, of course, to working on Skinwalker Ranch. Jay Stratton, the same thing, intimately involved in the government's UFO programs, at least that are publicly known and admitted to. And they are, top-level guys, great minds, scientists, and
hard to believe. Victory is within. Hard to believe victory is within reach. Blood on my knees, darkness all around me. It's always hard as just before the dawn. Try to find the strength to carry on.
Okay, well that's good to know, man.
I ain't even gonna lie.
I'm part of like the new season or whatever, just like the reboot or whatever.
That's season 7.
Okay, that's what's up, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, we going into it. Gerb is the word. I don't know how to make cool things like you. You be saying cool isms and whatnot. I can't even do that, bro. I wish I could do that, man.
Me too. I
wish
be
I could.
taking his
I wish I
shit.
was like. I wish I had the Gerb.
Y'all see I just popped up with 6 figure sus out of nowhere? That's my new shit.
Yeah,
that's my
shit
latest
fire.
one. 6 figure sus. You feel me?
I like that's hard. That's hard, man.
I wish I could do that, bro.
Make me one.
Give us
Make you
some time.
assist.
I got
make
you.
him a
All right,
Gerb.
cool.
I got you.
Yeah, make me some Gerb. I don't even got no headphones and nothing.
Yeah, you can-
None of us
some
do, but
headphones,
we.
bro?
That's because we professional podcasters, nigga.
Okay, yeah, y'all do.
We
the
don't
shit. I'm
speak
new
over
to it.
each other. We're just natural.
Okay,
You feel me?
It
What's
definitely
going
helps.
on? What's going on with y'all, man?
I mean, I don't know. I had a good week, man. I've been chilling, man. Hitting the comedy scene a little bit. I'm trying to get up and do some stand up. I'm trying to take my man Court with me and trying to get him to teach me the ropes and shit. I don't know nothing about stand up, but I'm gonna try to get into it.
That's
All
right.
right,
What's
now
up,
ask
Court?
me. All right, cool. He asked me. This
What's
nigga asked me. Same shit, different toilet. Can't call it. Lost my wallet.
Okay, I like
All right,
that.
he's
You
trying.
work on it a little bit.
He trying
the
a little
delivery.
too hard. That seemed like rehearsed in the bathroom mirror-ish.
I did. You can tell.
I could tell.
I seen Kelpie.
It sounds like
say
me
it.
trying it.
Yeah, like that was a little too forced. You gotta let it come natural. Try
like
next time.
I seen Kelpie say it,
Try-
so I thought it was cool.
That's
Yeah,
why it was
shout
a
out
L.
Kelpie.
You gotta try it next week. Try it again. It's
All right, cool. Next week. You see, I changed it to some Jordans because you said the New Balance was
All
cool.
right.
Yeah, I'm here,
You
bro.
doing your thing. You doing your
Yeah.
thing. Supreme socks. I see you.
Oh, you see.
I see what you got going
See,
on.
yeah, man.
All right.
I'm gonna get that feature in no time.
That's right. You getting there, leveling up. That's right.
Suspect, you have a good Easter? You do something with the kid?
My mom took my daughter, so she kidnapped her and just did some grandma shit. So I was just sitting bored at the crib playing Skate 3.
Hey,
Cooling.
She brought her back all hyped up on sugar.
Definitely.
Yep.
Regular shit.
Do you actually skateboard? Or you just be playing the skateboard game?
Like I used to get like A to B. I can't do no varial heel flips and shit.
I could.
But like you feel me? He
Yeah,
too
you should
big
get
for that
into
shit.
it, bro. Yeah.
I'm too big.
Can you
for that
really,
shit.
Court?
I mean, nah, Tony
Yeah.
Hawk tall as shit.
You right.
Yeah, you
Still?
can get into it.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I kind of want to see it.
He gonna break that board doing anything. In a way. But I be on the game playing it. Skate 3 cool. I fuck with it.
You got an Xbox?
The Series X. But you could pay 360 games on there.
He keep trying to defend the damn Series X or whatever. Yeah, but you can play 360 games.
You can.
I mean, they ain't,
I don't.
they ain't got
I'm
no
not
Series
one of
X
those.
games. No, I
I'm
got
not
you,
one of
yeah.
those. Like I don't really care.
Do they
I play
actually have-
PlayStation. I play Xbox.
Yeah, do they actually have games for the Series X? Like
Hogwarts
what's the
Legacy.
poppin'? What's popping on Series X?
Hogwarts Legacy was only advanced systems, or definitely a better version, and then the new Star Wars game.
That's a fact. That's
is
a
that
fact. We still
exclusive?
getting there. We
Okay.
still getting there,
That's
nigga.
what's
At
up.
least you can get a fucking Xbox.
Yeah, true.
You gotta
That's
travel
true.
to butt fuck America to find a PlayStation, nigga.
True.
You feel me?
Yo,
Like,
you ever play Shader XL?
what's that?
It's like Shade 3, but it's like way, way, way better.
Didn't that just come out like a couple of years ago too?
Yeah.
I never played that.
It's good. It's good.
It's
Trust
like
me, I
even
recommend it.
more technical and realistic, I think,
wow.
in terms of like the joysticks, like having to line up where your feet are and everything.
Right. That sounds too complicated. Skate 3 already a little hard.
But they got downtown LA and that shit.
That's fine.
Downtown LA.
That's all you needed.
That's all I need.
That's not gonna complete
It's
a skateboard
accurate.
game
It's homeless
for me.
niggas everywhere. You got to
Yeah.
skate over the homeless niggas or whatever. Build
Exactly.
a ramp with them. and shit.
Piles of shit you have to avoid.
Yeah.
At that point, we was
Actual
playing
human
Sims.
poop, right, like,
That
not
sounded like
people.
you just playing a RPG with a skateboard at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Fuck no.
exactly. Oh man, you ain't nice.
So what we got going on this week, man? What the fuck has been going on? been in jail for years already, bro. That's how these murder cases be taken. I tell niggas that all the time. I know about 3 or 4 niggas who beat murder, and every time that they fought the murder, they was in jail for a year plus every time. So it's like I wasn't surprised that his murder case has took this long, and it's even gonna take even longer because of how high profile the case is. You feel me? They don't want to make no mistakes. They want to make sure they got all the evidence right. You know what I'm saying? So
you think Melly gonna beat it?
I don't know, bro. Even if he didn't do it, I don't know if he's gonna beat it.
Oh, he did it. He did that.
I don't know what he did.
He did that shit.
I don't know what he did.
I don't know about none of the other crimes, but that crime right there, he did that shit.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah,
My
that's
nigga
definitely all in the
innocent till
song,
guilty.
man. That
It's
song
all in
that
the
song's
song.
gonna destroy him.
What song, bro? What are
Every
you talking
song he
about?
made,
Exactly.
bro.
He just saying shit. Cause Murder on My Mind was released years before these niggas died, so you can't use that one.
So he released his plan.
No, this nigga court.
I'm just saying, yeah, he a
did
scary
that.
nigga, man. Good luck to him, bro. They're gonna
Free
try to
that
get him
man.
out of him.
I'll be honest, my perception definitely changed after watching Trap Lord Ross's Vaughn
I
documentary.
haven't watched it yet. I started watching it when it first got uploaded. Then I was like 10 minutes in, and the shit got taken down. But it's back up now. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out.
But there's definitely, like, if we watch all these serial killer documentaries and things from these dudes from like the 70s and 80s, these guys have the exact same tendencies and like could definitely be considered serial killers. And I look at the situation totally differently now, whether it's premeditated or not. He might be a dude that just has that in him.
He got murder on his mind, bro. Yeah, man.
I
don't know. You know, that's for the jury to decide.
Yeah, I'm not for condemning no niggas
No.
in jail. You feel me? I don't know.
He did it.
I'm
Bro,
not
did
with
you,
the
Did you not
condemning
see his
niggas.
genius freestyle when he was like, "Bitch, I'm a murderer."
Bro, I wouldn't give a fuck if I seen him with the gun with blood splattered on his chest. I don't know where that could have been.
Yeah, I'm not in it, bro.
That could
Yeah,
be
leave me out
ketchup,
of
and
it,
nigga,
bro.
that could be a BB gun. I don't know what the fuck.
No,
happened.
that's blood from his friend that he killed.
I don't know nothing, nigga.
I
don't
know
nothing.
something.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
I know something.
But I do think it's been crazy. Let me read this. YNW's Melly ongoing case regarding double murder charges has officially begun. Jury selection has a trial date set for June 5th, 2023, according to his family. The jury selection process is expected to take weeks due to the popularity of Melly's case. Judge John J. Murphy III will be presiding over the trial. He's going to jail. And Melly's mother celebrated it. It's just the judge name. He sounds real racist. He's going down. It's been 3 years since YNW Melly was arrested and accused of murdering YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. YNW's trial has been delayed several times since his arrest in 2018. With jury selection supposed to kick off last April, the process was delayed as both sides continued to deliberate the framework and evidence being used in the courtroom. Melly received an early legal victory last July when a judge ruled that the death penalty could be taken off the table. Unfortunately, the judge also allowed Melly's numerous tattoos to be used as evidence by prosecutors.
What tattoos? What do you got? A tattoo of the murder? He got 2 stick men and shit.
Well,
Like,
he has their names tattooed on him.
I mean,
He
well,
did it. He did it.
I don't know, man. Either way, RIP them men's. YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. Pause.
Facts. RP to them. RP to them. 2 young black men. You know what I'm saying? But I believe in innocent until proven guilty, my boy.
Yeah.
I believe in guilty because you did that shit. But go ahead. Who that?
Yeah, that's wild.
Are there any more YNW people? Or is that it? Was it only 3 of them?
killed
there's another
He
one.
killed all the YNW
Yeah.
people.
Nah, it's a YNW B Slime, his little brother.
Okay, yeah, shout out him, bro.
What is it, Portland?
B Slime and Bortland.
Yeah.
Those 2 different people.
I'm pretty sure this is his mom right here.
That's his brother. That's B Slime.
That's why. Damn, he got old.
Yeah, he did. I remember when he was like Dirkios and like
Yeah, and he was little.
like this tall.
That's crazy.
And couldn't sing for shit.
You know? Crazy. It took way too long. Yeah. I'm gonna just let y'all know just like that, you know what I'm saying? To the 1,600 people that's in here right now. Bro, trial is started today. It has officially
It started today. You think you're gonna get the death penalty? Oh man,
Yeah.
that's crazy, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Especially since he did.
Imagine that. Especially since he did it. Okay.
Look, it's Florida, and that judge name. Can we Google what he looked like? Judge John J. Murphy the third.
Oh man, his name is my name.
You just got to
too.
look at his face, and then that's gonna let you know if if this nigga gonna walk or not.
Yeah, plus the fact that he did it.
You gotta chill, bro.
Stop, bro. Yeah, you
gotta chill.
Somebody gonna come at your ass.
Who
That's a
think he
fact.
didn't do it?
I mean,
I think every nigga in jail innocent unless he touched the kid.
Yeah, I don't think you should just
Every
be
nigga
saying
except
They
that
all
nigga.
innocent. They all innocent. If you ain't
They
raped
all
nobody,
innocent, but he did that shit.
if you ain't hard R
Oh,
nobody or touch no kids, you innocent.
I think he hard them niggas too.
No, stop it.
You see, now you putting shit on dead niggas. It's just crazy.
Nah, that's fucked up.
He just said dead niggas got raped.
That
Hard, my bad.
It's a
That's
joke. He a
wild.
comedian, bro. He can say whatever he want, apparently.
Oh my
I don't know
god!
I don't know which
I
one.
don't know
it
If
is.
it's any of these niggas,
Yeah, he
if it's
done.
any of these niggas, he's cooked.
this nigga standing up like, no, lock him up.
Yeah, they're like Sleepy Joe.
I ain't gonna lie. If it's any of these old white
Yeah,
men,
he
Even
done,
the black
bro. It
ones,
don't
and the
matter.
black ones look like they on trial.
put in Florida. Type
He
Florida
was on
by his name. Cause we gotta get specific, my
I
boy.
guess so.
Yeah, I know who Judge Mindy Kaling is.
It's one of
That's
these
not a
niggas,
real
I
person.
guarantee you, and they all look like he's it looks like he's going down, my boy.
Cause he did it.
There we go. That's him.
Oh, he ain't
Oh
Ah,
my
he
god!
don't got no picture.
He did it.
He don't got no picture. This nigga, bro. Fucking troll.
Yo, that nigga is going all
But this
the way
nigga's been a
jail.
judge since 2002. He's probably old as dirt. Yeah. Them
I mean,
old white men, and it's Florida, bro. Old white judges and then Florida and black male.
Yeah, he did it.
He didn't do it, but he don't have a hard one. He
You
gonna
got
have a
any
hard one.
words of encouragement for YNW Melly? He probably watching this. You know they be having phones and shit.
That's a
They be
fact,
having
man. Keep your
phones
head
their
up,
butt.
bro. Keep your cheeks clenched.
Yo.
My nigga, head up, cheeks clenched, bro. And we praying for you for real. No cap.
I mean,
'cause I don't like seeing black men in jail, bro. You know? Free that man. You know? Innocent till proven guilty, bro. This is America.
did you do it?
Man, your court is just a hating ass nigga. So he gonna say he did it. You
I
know?
don't wish I killed them niggas, man. Well, what am I hating on?
You hating on that nigga walking free again. That's what you hating on.
If he did it, yeah, I'm hating on him walking free.
You don't
Well, he
know if
probably not
did
gonna
it.
murder nobody else because that's like a close call. You know what I mean? Like
He's probably
not
done.
gonna want to do that again.
The nigga went on the Genius freestyle. I'm gonna take my glasses off for this one. The nigga said, "Yo, bitch, I'm a murderer." Like looked at the camera directly, son. That nigga's
Did he really? I don't remember that. I don't think I watched this
Remo,
freestyle.
you remember that shit? Bro, the nigga was doing.
I don't remember
he
that
was
shit
doing
either.
Murder on My Mind on his Genius freestyle. Then the nigga was like freestyling, whatever. Then he said, "Bitch, I'm a murderer."
And it frightened you.
So
And
if,
look directly
every
at the
nigga who
camera.
say bitchy and murderer and look at the camera, you just scared now?
Go to
It
jail.
depends on what he, because he's a
40
scary looking
years.
nigga, but you can't be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not every
Can't judge
nigga
a
that
book by
say
its
he a
cover.
murderer, I'm just supposed to shit on
40
myself.
years.
Fuck out of here. Niggas say they murderers every day, B, and they be soft as shit.
40 years.
40
Yeah,
years.
he's wilding today. Ain't no fucking way. All right, let's get into this Gideon shit. Gideon revealed that he has a warrant for his arrest in Houston. That's wild. After he filmed a video with a fellow content creator, Dami, I believe. In the video, Gideon and Dami presented a college professor with a balloon, bear, and flowers for Valentine's Day, but ended up causing quite a disruption in class. Despite the professor trying to get them to leave, the duo refused, even after being threatened with a call to the University of Houston Police Department. He says he's being charged for criminal trespass.
That's crazy, bro.
Fucking idiot. These pranks aren't
that's
pranks
too much.
anymore.
I mean, hey, shout out to my homie Jay Washington. I think he was in this video. He keep talking about how many views it got and shit. He keep bragging about that shit. But shout out to that shit. Yeah, I think they were doing like a fake Impractical Jokers type of thing.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the video yet, but low key, like I'm with the pranking. You know what I mean? I'm not anti pranking, but you just gotta. You know what I mean? You got to do that shit right here. Like interrupting their class, that's fine. Nobody give a fuck.
Yeah.
I just think we're getting past the line of pranks and it's just becoming harassing people at this point. Like most pranks these days, bro, you're just harassing people. It's not even really pranks. Nigga just walk up to somebody and fucking with them and just
I mean,
fuck.
yeah,
Nigga,
pranks
this
be
is
going too
harassing.
far and
You
shit.
feel
This
me?
particular one, like if you mess with a bunch of college kids, they fine. They laugh that shit off. But
This one is
pranking
overboard, 'cause
culture,
I gotta
yeah.
see it.
Pranking culture in general is
It's
just
getting a
fucking,
little
yeah, that
overboard.
shit's wild as fuck.
You feel me?
It's better than the scripted shit though. Like
You right.
I don't like the scripted.
I ain't gonna
I mean,
lie.
the scripted ones are safer because
That
I
part.
remember niggas
Hard to believe victory is within reach. Blood on my knees, darkness all around me. It's always hardest just before the dawn. What if I win? What if I lose? What if my heart?
Base this shit, son. Base this shit, son. Base this shit, son. Base this shit, son. Base this shit, boy. Man, I'm trying to watch some live stream. Ah. Ah, Science Bob! It's Science Bob, yeah! Hey Siri, start a timer for 2 hours. I want more nacho. Those nachos are fucking awesome.
And they would obviously be a good fit for examining UFO technology, possibly even reverse engineering it. So the question is, or the question has always been since that news piece came out, since Travis has said these things, and he didn't specifically say they were going to reverse engineer UFO technology. He says if that was given to him, he would very happily do that. But why else would they have joined Radiance Technologies? Why would Radiance have hired these specific guys that are connected to the government's involvement with UFO programs if they weren't going to, do something related to that? Sure, they're great minds and they can do other things, but it seemed at the time like Radiance Technologies was specifically positioning itself to have access to those programs through Jay Stratton and Travis Taylor. And, and again, they worked on Skinwalker Ranch and other programs. Well, it turns out Colin Kelleher has been saying that maybe Allsap and Bass and NIDS, that is the Skinwalker Ranch crew, maybe they actually had some involvement with reverse engineering UFOs, or at least had some interest or information about it. Here, Colin is saying exactly that.
Does our government have downed UFOs from unknown origin that they've been trying and are trying to reverse engineer and exploit those technologies, understand the physics, and understand that technology? Do we have that to work with?
I can't talk about that, but the answer is yes.
I mean, that's a big tease. I mean, he can't give information about it. The fact that he can't give us any information about it seems to me to indicate that he knows some stuff, which means he was in this project and in working with this UFO technology, or else he was read into the program on some level, which, if he, working on Skinwalker Ranch, was read into the program at some capacity, that seems to indicate a connection between the UFO reverse engineering efforts in Skinwalker Ranch. So it kind of makes sense that Travis Taylor and Jay Stratton, from Skinwalker Ranch, among other places and capacities, would be in a position to have some access to that technology or those programs. And so when they join Radiance Technologies through their connections, technologies now has to this stuff. And so now they are getting a massive funding. And here is Danny Sheehan, the lawyer for Lou Elizondo, and has been in the game for a long time and is a very knowledgeable, smart guy. Here he is talking about just that.
Now it's one agency or one private Radiance Technologies we've now got a piece of information. They've already been appropriated $4.5 billion to work with the U.S. Space Force on this issue and get information to the committee.
So boom, there you go. Radiance Technologies is getting billions of dollars to work with the space program after just
represent
hired
sell.
on
We also have an
Jay
AeroCare
Stratton,
program, which is basically a maintenance
Axelrod,
program for customers who buy
the
our
man
aircraft who
who
may
is
not be able to
haunted by
get, let's
werewolves.
say,
He
insurance
and
to
his
cover
whole
their
family
asset.
and very
We have a
people
way
they
to protect
know,
that plane
this
with them. That once they buy it from us, there's
hitchhiker
training
effect
involved,
from
and then they have a way to
Ranch.
protect that all the way up until
Well,
the point
so
that they
the
can
man
then
that
add the
is
liability
haunted
component.
by werewolves
you know, with
Is
it.
that catered more
is
towards
now
the
going
older
to
pilot or having
potentially
medical
reverse
issues, or is
engineering alien
because of
technology
the higher cost of
alongside
fitting the airplane?
Taylor.
No, that's a great question. I think it's all of the
liability history. There's like
Radiant
actually revolutionary.
Technologies is getting billions of dollars to work with the Space Force after having on the
AirTech Coatings. AirTechCoatings.com. Clemens Insurance at Clemens.
Studying UFOs and other related phenomena, and who might very well have some access to the UFO reverse engineering program, because as I have just demonstrated, Calm Kelleher, who led the efforts, the scientific efforts at Skinwalker Ranch, seems to have had some access. So is that not juicy or what? I can't wait to see what we learn about all this stuff in the days ahead, but whatever it is, it's going to be really interesting. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Radiance Technologies is indeed going to be reverse engineering UFO technology? Because I'm not saying that's 100% fact. That just seems to be the way things are looking. That you know, maybe I'm looking through a certain lens, but that seems to be how the pieces align in the picture that they're forming. Now, why would the government need Radiance Technologies to do this? They have been doing it on their own lo these many years. See Bob Lazar and his story, and various other similar stories or accounts or corroborating accounts for the government's interest in reverse engineering UFO technology and even utilizing it, even getting some of this stuff to work. See the Mark McClandish sort of information where we have the alien reproduction vehicles since the 60s, and that was corroborated by John Keel and others. I've talked before about a Lockheed Martin engineer who said that Lockheed Martin Skunk Works was actually working with the beings in the 60s to develop training devices so that humans could learn to fly UFOs. So, you know, if the aliens or the beings were working with us to fly UFOs or our own UFOs perhaps, why then did we need to reverse engineer any technology at all? Is that from another species, not the species that's helping us, and we're trying to learn about a different species, possibly the species that we're shooting at? I don't have any answers. There's so many pieces missing in this puzzle. So let me know what you think, but I love it. This is craziness happening right before our eyes. We have a man haunted by werewolves that is potentially going to be reverse engineering alien technology. And this is a real thing that is very possibly happening right now before our eyes, or at least just off camera. So let me know your thoughts, and please give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. Find me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Twitter. I would love to see you guys there. And if you would share this video when it drops on social media, that would be super helpful. And of course, check out some of my other videos. This is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.
your body a little bit more for tension. Feel anywhere that you might be kind of holding on. Just relax that part. And if your eyes have been closed, I want you to gently. It's actually true.
And our little warhead would fly over and obliterate Moscow. But suddenly, from in the frame, he claimed that he saw an object following the test missile, which was traveling at 8,000 miles per hour. The UFO was said to have come in and fired 4 beams at the warhead. I need to reiterate, this was a test dummy. This was not a real missile. And so Dr. Jacobs continues, when it flew out of frame, the same way it had come in, and at that point the warhead tumbled out of space. The light came on, and then Major Mansman, which is a really awesome last name, and the other guys in gray suits looked at Mr. Jacobs, and he said, "Were you guys screwing around up there?" referring to this footage. And Jacob says, "No, sir." And so Mr. Mansman responds back and it's like, well, what was that? What did we just see? And all Jacobs could say was that, to me, it looks like a UFO.
Like that was clearly
but this baffled the room. Not just Mr. Mansman, not just the men in suits, but even Jacobs. He's like, oh my gosh, like what did I just say? Why did I say that? But that's really what it looks like. Because this took place in 1964. So the conversation was slightly there. It wasn't an intense conversation yet, but people at this time were decently familiar with flying saucers because of Roswell and things like that. And so, you know, people could kind of talk about this, but you can't have these types of you couldn't have these types of conversations when you were a part of the military. And this is a recurring theme that we've covered on this show time and time again. There was so much stigma at that time.
So here at
There's still stigma today in 2023. While yes, it is easier to talk about these things, it's still not that easy. Your life and your job can still be on the line.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
And so, as is continued, Mr. Jacobs said, Mr. Mansman escorted me into the door, and he said that I don't need to remind you of the seriousness of the security breach.
So I'm guessing there's a waving
Mr. Jacobs said, no sir, you don't need to remind me. But as he left, he leaned over to speak in Mr. Jacobs' ear, Mr. Mansman, and stating that something that the guys in the gray suits couldn't hear Mr. Mansman tell Mr. Jacobs. And he said, Lieutenant, if they were ever to torture you in the future, somebody has you up against the wall, all right, and they're frying your private parts with fire, you can tell them it was just laser tracking. Here's the weird thing about that statement that Mr. Mansman made. They didn't have laser tracking.
I can't tell you how many times somebody new has come to my property and they say, wow, I feel like I'm engaged.
Call them the Black, or in this case, CIA, as Jacobs stated,
less of a chance they have of being
that
aggressive.
there were
In general,
pieces of
wolves are
information
very
that
rather
were
than
being
fight.
relayed to Robert Jacobs that were very personal to him regarding his personal life.
A
That
wolf
these
does not
men in
want
black
to
knew
have
about
conflict.
under the radar.
Absolutely.
And of course, that can be a
versus
little
lower
unnerving. Can you imagine
reality,
simulating humanity, literally walking down any public building, someone comes up to you and starts sharing
Probably
with you
spend anywhere between
information that no one should know about it but you and maybe
It is very
another.
difficult information
all
about it,
around
right?
us now as well.
You're gonna
Feeding
have
all of
this
our
sense of
information
fear
back into
that
this quantum
you
computer
don't
that's
want
basically got a
right?
virtual world where all of us
But
have a digital
second,
avatar
that
in there.
anything
They're able to
that
manipulate
has
the
happened to
digital
you, I
avatar
decided to go
in
into
the
their
virtual
enclosure, and I
world.
was like, okay,
And
let's
that's
pretend that something's off
actually
right now. And I
translated
just
to
laid it
effects
out
in the
here.
real
Said
world.
knowledge is power, and if what was you don't amazing is have Dakota knowledge, absolutely
you're not going to be powerful in certain situations. And the more that you know about someone, the more that you can relate to them.
Like, this is my
But
person.
do you think that
Dakota
virtual
is
reality
living
is
in a
Jacobs
simulation
that
she
I
didn't
actually
actually
is
tell
just
his
too far
story
off, totally
until he
unreal,
shares
and
it.
successfully
The United
fired.
States government has been working
When he actually spoke
on
to Stephen Friedman in 1986, where he began telling his story, he began to speak at conferences, started giving interviews. That was a little, 2 decades later. This took place in 1964. He didn't come out until about 1986. He sat on this story for some time until he felt ready to tell people, tell the public what happened. Does he have proof? Does he have evidence? Well, after he gave that footage back to the Air Force, he had never seen it again. We've heard that before, and this is where the skeptics come in. Oh well, if you don't have any evidence, then how could it be real, right? And I don't blame having that mindset. We all want tangible evidence. We all want something to look at, to hold, to really analyze. And just having an anecdotal story is difficult for many. And that is exceptional. That is understandable. But also, when you have a background such as Robert Jacobs coming from the Air Force, there's that level and that sense of credibility that you would hope that these types of people in law enforcement, in the military,
Like last year, they didn't
don't
even have
lie,
shit that
that
was going
their
40
word
miles.
is their bond.
Now they got shit that's going
That's
100
what so
mile
many of
range.
us hope, and what many
Which
of
is
us
crazy, dude. Like,
really
my ass
think
would be
is the
hamburger
case.
by the
Cassidy,
time I
thank
get
you so
done with
much
that
for the
bike
super
ride.
sticker and supporting
That's
the
2
channel. I
next city
appreciate
and
that.
back. Big
But
city. You know?
we have to
I
be
can never make it to the
flexible
capital
with our mindsets and with our perspectives, because while many of us want the evidence, all of us do, I do, but we also have to think that sometimes a story, while it's not as enticing,
see,
it
you know the
still can be
difference,
just
dude.
as good.
5
And for
miles
that
ain't
person
nothing,
that
dude. My board
experienced
goes
it,
20.
that's all the proof that they need. That's it.
You must have got that a
But
while ago, though.
we should also take these stories with a grain of salt as well,
Got
because
about,
it's the few
got them over on
hoaxers, it's the
YouTube.
few people
Hello,
that
YouTube land.
ruined it for everyone else
Got a
in
couple,
the field, where now
around your
everyone's on
Facebook
guard,
pages.
everyone's a skeptic, everyone's asking the difficult questions. And while that's how it should be, it's disappointing that a handful of those people ruined it for everyone.
Using my webcam, hopefully
And
it's not too
for
bad
me,
for you
I
guys.
recommend keeping on the fence.
Also, all I want to
Staying
say is
open-minded, but being
I'm not a
skeptical.
calvinist, okay? I don't believe
And we just can't make these things a belief system. One story, one encounter.
Exactly.
We just can't make that our foundation for our beliefs. We need to listen to anything and everything, collect all of the data to the best of our ability, because only then is when we will create a beautiful
really are, whether we fully embody it or not. When enough of us do that, the whole world is going to shift, and it already is. Enough people are already remembering right now that it is shifting and changing so much. If anybody has any questions or ideas or anything at all that they want to share or express, you can do it either by the chat or you can do it here live with us. You can speak, whatever modality you feel comfortable with. And if you don't, it's totally fine.
We're going to be doing this every single week. Same time for now. There may be different time adjustments here and there as we continue to evolve and grow. We're going to be doing it in person as well. So we're getting ready to set this up so that people will physically be able to attend these while we stream live online at the same time. And as we continue to do that and continue to grow and get more in tune with what we are, with who we are, with why we are, the more empowered we become. And when we do that together, the possibilities are limitless. And the world needs now more than ever beings who are choosing to be harmonized with the living frequencies, the building blocks of the universal energies that allow everything to be as they are. So make sure to email us, join us if you want. If you feel like this is something you want to keep doing with us, just let us know. We'll email you. We'll let you know when we're going to do these. And they will grow. And they will become a lot more powerful.
I see Mark had his hand up.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Mark. Welcome.
Thanks. I just wanted to say, I know they're going to work great, and thank you for holding this because even this small group is powerful enough to change the world. So thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. Thank you. That's I mean, it doesn't take that many people. It just takes a few doing it consistently enough. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everybody will follow suit.
I was speaking with Seth the other day, and it's like going to test drive a car. I was telling him the example here. I was going, just going to test drive a car. You test drive a Volkswagen Beetle or a Bug or something, but you go out on the road and you see more Volkswagen Beetles. It's like, wow, I've never seen that many out on the road before. And it's just, as of recent, I don't know about everybody else, but just the energies and things that are just happening in this very chaotic time that we're experiencing right now. There's more of the coherence meditations, the topic that's just come about in the past several weeks. I was mentioning last week on how I saw Dan Winter YouTube video just a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago. Well, there's actually another YouTube channel that he put out, just a quick 20-minute video on how he occasionally, I don't know how often, once a year, every 6 months, but he gets a group of people together, and about maybe 30 people this time around, but he was just talking about just the heart coherence and putting it out there, putting it out in the ether, and just the profound effect that he and everybody else experienced in person, live.
There's something else going on.
like, why is the traffic not moving? What is going on here? And then they look up into the sky and they're like, oh my goodness. If I tell my boss that I'm late, would he believe me if I were to give him this explanation? That was probably going through the mind of so many. If I were to explain this to someone, when they believe me in this, then you got to speak to everyone around you, get their names, get their phone numbers, because they're gonna help you when you have to call them, saying that, look, I wasn't the only eyewitness here. There were other people looking into this, and you can call them. But would they tell the truth, right? And that's another question altogether. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Can we get to 200 likes? We have 204 people watching this live. Thank you so much for everyone that's watching this live. I appreciate all of you. But can we get to 200 likes? So if you are enjoying the show, hit the thumbs up. Thanks. I have a few more cases for you. Let me pull this up because this is going to be awesome. And this next one is kind of a 2-in-1. We're getting another 2-in-1 here today because it's so hard to pick just 5. But this is going to be pretty appropriate for today. And this one is regarding the Foo Fighters that took place during World War II. I told you at the beginning of the show that when it comes to pilots and UFOs, right? We've seen this consistently throughout history, and I want to do a deeper dive onto this because your average person, and I know everyone says this, and I want to say it anyway, your average person, when they think of Foo Fighters, they think of the band. All right? I know. I get it. Me too. But I'm going to probably make a lot of people mad. I get the Foo Fighters and the Hot Chili Peppers confused. To me, their music sounds very similar. And people are going to be like, what do you mean, Christina? Look, that's just my brain, all right? And I'm sharing my brain with you. But the Foo Fighters, this was during World War II. And there's a lot of, fear, anxiety, a sense of uneasiness, because this is the middle of war, the second biggest war in history. And so if you were a pilot during this time and you were seeing these spherical objects or these orbs going at just crazy speeds, of course you're going to have the sense of fear of what's going on. Is this the enemy? How is their technology so much more advanced